Hello everyone. Today we shall start with the module number 1, semiconductors, in the subject electronic devices for the third semester ENC branch. So before start with the actual topic, we will brush up few things. The topic is basic structure of an atom. So what is an atom? Atom is the smallest individual unit. So the structure of one of the atom, that is example is helium, is shown in the figure. The structure shows the helium atom, which consists of the nucleus at the center. So the nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons. So the proton is a positively charged particle. There are two protons shown with the red color, and there are two neutrons. So neutron has no charge. It is neutral. Nucleus is surrounded by a orbit. So that orbit has two electrons. So the electrons that is shown in blue color. So it is a negatively charged particle. So this is an example of a helium atom. The atomic number of helium is 2. Similar to this one, you can also consider one more atom, that is carbon. Carbon, its atomic number is 6. So carbon consists of 6 protons and 6 neutrons in the nucleus and 6 electrons. So 2 electrons in the first shell and 2 electrons in the outer orbit. Sorry, 4 electrons in the outer orbit. Total 6 electrons. Next topic, electron shells. So there are few important points about electrons which are very useful. So we'll discuss it one by one. We should know that atomic number is equal to the number of electrons. For example, in the previous example we have considered helium. Helium has the atomic number 2. So the number of electrons in the helium are also 2. That's why atomic number is equal to number of electrons. Similar to that, carbon, the atomic number of carbon is 6. So the number of electrons present in the carbon are also 6. So atomic number is equal to number of electrons. So this is a very important point. So other points, electrons vary in the amount of energy they possess, and they occur at certain energy levels or electron shells. So every electron has vary in the amount of the energy they possess. The shell may be thought as an orbit. So the outer orbit, whatever we have seen, that shell, it can be called as either shell or it can be considered as an orbit of the electron around the nucleus. The central part is nucleus. It is surrounded by a shell, or you can consider it as a orbit. The electron shells determine how an atom behaves when it encounters other atoms. So electron shells determine how it is going to act, how an atom behaves when it encounters another atom. So those shells or those orbits are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So starting from 1, which is closest to the nucleus. The central part is the nucleus. So the nearest orbit is numbered with 1. Then next orbit is numbered 2 and so on. Each shell consists of a fixed number of electrons. So whatever the shell or the orbit, that consists of the fixed number of electrons. In principle, a shell can hold 2 into n square electrons, where n is orbit number. So that is, so first shell, if you consider a closest shell that to the nucleus, so that shell can hold maximum of 2 electrons. Second shell can hold 8 electrons, and third shell can hold 18 electrons, and so on. That is how to calculate the maximum number of electrons in a particular cell, that is 2 into n square, where n is the number of orbit. So for example, in the first orbit, 2 into 1 square. So 1 square is 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. So number of electrons in the first orbit is 2. Since nucleus is positive, nucleus consists of protons, so nucleus is positive, the electrons are attracted it. So the lower shell gets filled up first. So as there is a nucleus is a positive, it attracts the electrons. So the first shell or first orbit gets filled up first. The electrons in the outermost occupied shell determine the chemical properties of the atom. It's called the valence shell. So remember here, the outermost shell, which is called as valence shell. The outermost shell is stable whenever it contains 8 electrons. So remember here, to make a stable shell, that is the outermost shell is going to be stable whenever it contains 8 electrons. So the energy of the electron increases as the shell moves further from the nucleus. So the closer, whichever has the closer shell, so that has the less energy. The shell which is very further to the nucleus, that has a more energy. So the energy of the electron increases as the shell moves further from the nucleus. So this is an example of electrons in the outermost shell, that is shown in the figure. So the first figure, so the example is hydrogen atom. It is represented by H. Its atomic number is 1. So as it represents atomic number 1, it consists of 1 proton and 1 electron. So nucleus consists of 1 proton and the orbit consists of 1 electron. So second example, carbon, its atomic number is 6. So there are 6 protons. Then there are 2 orbits. In the first orbit, only 2 electrons are there. It can hold only 2 electrons. And the second orbit, that is outermost orbit, it can hold maximum of 8 electrons. So in the carbon atom, there are 4 electrons in the outermost orbit, 2 electrons in the innermost orbit, and 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. Third example, nitrogen, its atomic number is 7. Innermost orbit consists of 2 electrons and outermost orbit consists of 5 electrons, total 7 electrons. Oxygen, atomic number is 8, 2 electrons in the inner orbit and 6 electrons in the outermost orbit, so total 8 electrons. So the rule for stability states that atom tend to gain or lose electrons to have 8 electrons in the valence band for the atom to be stable. The outermost orbit is called as valence band. So that atom tend to gain or lose electrons to have electrons to have 8 electrons in the valence band for the atom to be stable. So consider some example. So what is the configuration of nitrogen? That is N is equal to 7. Atomic number is 7. Its answer is shown in the figure. So it consists of 2 electrons in the innermost orbit and 5 electrons in the outermost orbit. Second example, Ar. that is argon atomic number is 18. So observe there, 2 electrons in the innermost orbit, first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, and 8 electrons in the third orbit. So there are total 18 electrons. Third one, gallium, its atomic number is 31. So innermost orbit, the orbit which is close to the nucleus, consists of 2 electrons. Second orbit consists of 8 electrons. Third orbit consists of 18 electrons, and the outermost orbit consists of 3 electrons. So total number of electrons are 31. Periodic table, a chart of the chemical elements that displays them in rows horizontally in order of increasing atomic number and vertically according to similarity of the chemical properties of their atoms. So the next figure that shows the periodic table, you just go through the periodic table once, which is already covered in your previous semester and in the PUC. Now let us start with the actual syllabus. The first topic, bonding forces and energy bands in solids. So whenever number of atoms comes closer and closer to form solid or crystal, one atom valence electron interact with the another atom valence electron. They will share some of the valence electrons and they will tightly bound together. They form crystal. So the bonding, there are different type of bondings. The first one is ionic bonding, second one is metallic bonding, and the third one is covalent bonding. The first one is ionic bonding. So in the ionic bonding, there are key features. So just I have listed the key features. It forms an ionic compounds. Second, it transfers electrons takes place. Transfer of electron takes place. Electrons are transferred between valence shells of atoms. Ionic compounds are made up of ions, not from the molecules. Ionic compounds are called salts or crystals. These are the key features. So see here, these ionic compounds are always formed between metals and non-metals. One is metal, another one is the non-metal. Metal lost electrons and non-metal gains the electron. A typical example of ionic bonding is sodium chloride, NaCl. That we are going to discuss here. Example, NaCl, that is sodium chloride. So this figure shows the sodium and chloride. So in the NaCl lattice, each sodium, that is Na atom, is surrounded by 6 nearest neighbor Cl atoms. So Na atom is surrounded by 6 nearest neighbor Cl atoms and vice versa. The electronic structure of the Na, that is Na atomic number is Z equal to 11, that is 1s2, 2s2, 3p6, 3s1. And for Cl, the atomic number is 17. It has the electronic structure 1s2, 2s2, 3p6, 3s2, 3p5. In the lattice, each Na atom gives up its outer 3s electrons to a Cl atom. So as shown in the figure, the red color electron in the lattice, each Na atom gives up its outer 3s electron to a chlorine atom, so that the crystal is made up of ions with the electronic structure of inert atoms Ne and Ar. However, Ions have net electrical charges after the electron exchange. So the Na plus ion has a net positive charge having lost an electron, and the Cl minus ion has a net negative having gained an electron. So observe the figure very carefully. The sodium atom, one atom from the outermost orbit, is donated to the chlorine atom. Each Na plus ion utilizes an electrostatic attractive force upon its 6 Cl minus neighbors and vice versa. So these Coulombic forces pull the lattice together until a balance is reached with repulsive forces. All electrons are tightly bound to atoms. Once the electron exchanges have been made between the Na and Cl atoms to form the Na plus and Cl minus ions, the outer orbits of all the atoms are completely filled. You can observe in the figure, outer orbits are completely filled. Since the ions have closed shell configuration of the inert atoms Ne and Ar, there are no loosely bound electrons. So to participate in the current flow, as a result, NaCl is going to be a good conductor. So as you can see in the figure, the outermost orbit is completely filled. So there is no movement of electrons. So the same thing is listed here point wise. How is the bonding? So the atomic number of the sodium is 11. It has one electron in the outermost orbit. As we have seen in the figure in the previous slide, sodium has one electron in the outermost orbit. So atomic number of the chlorine is 17. It has 7 electrons in the outermost orbit. There are 7 electrons in the outermost orbit of the chlorine atom. So Na becomes positive after giving up electron, and Cl becomes negative after receiving an electron. So Na becomes a donor and Cl becomes a acceptor. So each Na plus ion exerts attractive force on neighboring Cl minus ions. So Na ion utilizes attractive force on neighboring Cl minus ions. So in the lattice NaCl structure, all the electrons are tightly bound to the atoms. So as the NaCl structure is completely filled, they are going to be tightly bound to the atoms. So the outer shells are completely filled and have configuration similar to the Ne and Ar. Since there are no loosely bound electrons, NaCl is an insulator. So the no current flows in the insulator because outer shell is completely filled by electrons. So it acts as an insulator. The second one is the metallic bonding. So the figure shows metallic bonds. So in the metal atom, the outer electronic shell is only partially filled. So whatever the outer electronic shell is present in the metal, you can consider any metal, so it is going to be partially filled. It is not completely filled, it is partially filled, usually by not more than 3 electrons. So in the outermost orbit, there are not more than 3 electrons are present in the metal atom. Example, Na, that is again sodium. So sodium has only 1 electron in the outer orbit. So as we have seen in the previous figure, Na has the only 1 electron in its outermost orbit. So this is an example of a metallic bonding. So this electron is loosely bound. So as we can have maximum of 8 electrons to be stable. So here only one electron is present. So it is loosely bound. So it gives up easily in the ion formation. So it has high electrical conductivity. So as we know, in the metal the current flows very easily, so it has a higher electrical conductivity. In the metal, the outer electron is contributed to the crystal as a whole, so that solid is made up of ions with closed solid is made up of ions with the closed shell immersed in a sea of free electrons. The forces holding the lattice together arise from an interaction between positive ion cores and surrounding free electrons. So this is one type of metallic bonding. So the electrons in the metal are free to move about the crystal under the influence of electric field. So remember here, the electron in the metal are free to move about the crystal under the influence of the electric field. Whenever you apply electric field, the electrons are going to move very easily. So the electrons are responsible for carrying the current in the metals. So the key features, whatever just now I have explained, the same thing is listed here. Bonds formed in metals, they hold the atoms very strongly. So there is a sea of electrons or cloud of electrons around the atom. So metal is a good conductor of electricity. The examples of metals are Na, Fe, Al, Cu, etc. The third one is covalent bonding. So the figure shows covalent bonding is in the Si crystal, that is silicon crystal. So the covalent bonding is exhibited by the diamond lattice semiconductor. So this type of bonding happens in the fourth group elements like silicon Si, germanium Ge, carbon C, etc. So Si has the atomic number Z equal to 14. That is, its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 3p6, 3s2, 3p2. If you take a germanium as an example, its atomic number is 32. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2, 4p2. So the outermost orbit in these fourth group element, they consist of 4 electrons. So we know that each atom in the germanium or silicon or carbon diamond lattice is surrounded by 4 nearest neighbors, each with 4 electrons in the outer orbit. So as you can see in the figure, so the diamond lattice structure is shown. Each atom consists of 4 electrons. So as shown in the figure, these crystals, each atom shares its valence electrons with its 4 neighbors. The bonding forces arise from a quantum mechanical interaction between the shared electron. So this is known as covalent bonding. Each electron pair constitute a covalent bond. So the key features are listed here. The covalent bond pairs of electrons are shared between the atoms. So an atom that shares the electrons, so that's why it is called as covalent bond. So they are formed between non-metal atoms. The electronegativity difference of the atom should be less than 1.7. So they form polyatomic ions. The key features are between non-metallic elements of similar electronegativity. They form between non-metallic elements of similar electronegativity formed by sharing electron pairs. So they are going to share their electron to the neighboring electrons. That's why they form a covalent bond. So they are stable, non-ionizing particles. They are not conductors at any state. So examples are O2, CO2, H2, Si, Ge and carbon. Thank you for watching the video.